when I was in college, I participated in this program called Global Scholars through Florida State University. And I wanted to study abroad, but it was in place of studying abroad, you could go and work for a nonprofit in a developing country. And so I decided to go to Ghana, West Africa. And so I lived there for 3 months and served with a local nonprofit there. And it was incredible. It was an incredible experience. I think probably one of the most life-changing things I've ever done.
Can you say give us a little more as to what was it that was so impactful, and how did you see life differently after that than before?
Yeah. I mean, so many things. I remember distinctly the first 2 days being there. It was so challenging. It was the first time I had been out of the country by myself. And it was the first time I had flown on an international flight by myself. And I flew into this foreign country trying to find a man that I had only seen over a Skype video one time at this busy airport with the risk of people pretending to be him and taking my money or something. And so I was terrified, so out of my comfort zone, and having to figure it out. I was there, and I had to keep moving forward. And I remember distinctly the first 2 days thinking, I'm never doing this again. This is terrible. I am so uncomfortable. But I just have to persevere, and I just have to get through this summer. But then I got more comfortable, and I started to see how much of a blessing this opportunity was. I think on a natural level, I was put in a totally new community and got to experience a culture where they are very community-centric. So they share meals together in their house or with their neighbors. Everyone goes to church together on Sundays. Everyone looks out for one another. And coming from a place where I wasn't really involved in my faith in college at that point, and I didn't really have a community. And I now experience on a natural level what it's like to be a part of a people who look after one another, who care for one another. And that just softened my heart a lot towards the whole experience. I think God had a lot in store for me on that trip, because my supervising professor for the program actually visited us while we were in Ghana, and she was working on her PhD, which was about students developing their own personal identity in the context of a foreign country. And so the whole time I was there, she was asking me questions, encouraging me to reflect on who am I, what is my identity. So here I am in this foreign country reflecting on who I am and realizing that faith and God is so important to me, and that hasn't been reflected in my life. And so then I'm wrestling with, well, if it's important to me, then I need to be living it out, because I see God as part of my identity, as part of who I am, but that's not reflected in how I'm living. So it was very self-reflective. I had a lot of time. I had a lot of space. I was totally disconnected. I was unable to talk to anybody or really communicate with anyone while I was there, because there's not cell signal or easy internet access. So I was just totally removed from my life of busyness and selfishness and school and partying, and plopped in this very Christian communal place.